I'm James Rule. Welcome to the Lonely Leader podcast, where we help existing and aspiring leaders find clarity, build resilience, drive performance, and enhance fulfillment. I want to open up today's episode with a question. What did the first 30 minutes look like this morning for you after your alarm went off? Was it proactive or was it reactive? Did you get dragged straight into your mobile phone, checking emails, checking messages? Did you doom scroll? Did you put the news on and start getting bombarded by negative news stories designed to shock, to frighten us? This is not a judgment. This is an observation. I've done an episode before on morning routine, but it's a few years ago, way back, episode number 4. I'll put that in the show notes. But if there's one thing that I see compromising senior leaders time and time again, is how they begin the day. We have it within our gift to start our morning in a way that genuinely empowers us, that sets us up for a day where we maximize our impact as a leader and our performance and fulfillment. And yet we are guilty of giving that time away. Nobody from our office is sitting on the end of our bed, I hope, when we wake up. Nobody is standing over us in the bathroom expecting a response to an email. But we've been almost brainwashed into relieving any sort of autonomy and ownership over our morning routine and giving that away to our organizations, our colleagues, and forgetting about the essential need to invest in ourselves. Now, I'm quick to stress, as much as I love all the rhetoric and narrative, the 5 a.m. Club, all these great books that have been published, I am not going to advocate hustle, grind, and a deluded 4-5 hour morning routine. That's not real life, and it's not real life for so many of you as leaders that have partners, that have children, parents, dependents, people you care for, pets, you name it. We've all got busy home environments and personal leadership responsibilities in addition to our professional role. But that being said, there is so much more we can still do. And I want today just to reflect on some of the basics, some of the things I see making a material difference for the clients I have the privilege of coaching and mentoring. And as I walk through this episode, and if you say to me, well, I do all of that, my morning routine is brilliant, well, good for you. But if it's anything like the vast majority of people when I first start working with them, there are so many things they're proud of in terms of how they operate and how they conduct themselves. But the first half hour to an hour of the day rarely is one of the things expressed. It's just a manic, chaotic free-for-all as they try and satisfy all those commitments and get out the door on time. I think it's fair to say that most leaders don't have morning routine, they have morning reaction. They react to whatever stimuli gets to them first. And there's no judgment in that. You'll have heard me, those of you that have worked with me or listened to the backstory, you will have heard me talk about my epiphany moment, and that was doing what I always did first thing in the morning, picking up my mobile phone, creeping out of bed, checking the latest email, and then the next thing I knew, my wife was picking me up from the floor. I'd collapsed, still mobile phone in hand, ironically, ended up in hospital. I had pneumonia. Now, you go through denial, but you quickly have to get to acceptance. I had manifested that situation by the way I was working, the intensity of the hours, the lack of focus on any sort of recovery, and certainly a complete and utter negligence of how I started my day. There simply wasn't a morning routine. It was alarm, phone up, straight into work mode, and that is what I'd been doing for many years. So I won't go into too much detail. I talk about that episode in my life in other episodes, but suffice to say, I was removed from work for a period of 2 weeks. I had my mobile phone taken away from me, locked away from me by my wife. The doctors instructed us to do that. And I went through a sort of withdrawal process and a chance to reflect what got me here, what needs to change. And from that day forward, I committed to morning routine, and a morning routine that has sustained me through high periods of stress and challenge. And it's something that anchors my day in and really does help me bring the best of myself to both my personal and professional roles. So let me just share a few of the basic principles that I anchor in with clients when I'm working with them one-to-one. The first principle is, what can you do the night before? Now, I'm not going to go deeply into an evening routine. Perhaps that's something I'll revisit in another episode. But suffice to say, if you just watch one more episode of Netflix, fall asleep, phone in hand, doom scrolling, exhausted, fall into your bed, semi-conscious, post-midnight, and then try and wake up early the next day, that alarm is going to feel like an attack rather than a call to action. It's going to be very, very difficult to do anything proactively. So without insulting your intelligence or patronizing you in any way, we need to think about what is a non-negotiable cut-off time that we're going to be in bed to at least give us an opportunity for a decent night's sleep that can facilitate a morning routine as a consequence. In episode 4, I talk about the 3 and 3. It's a simple gratitude tool that I think we should all anchor into our morning routine. It's as simple as thinking of 3 things you're grateful for from the previous day and 3 things you are looking forward to. We all tend to go onto the autopilot of worry and anxiety. It used to hit me in the shower. As soon as I get in the shower, I start thinking about the problems and the stresses of the forthcoming day, the issues that I'm trying to resolve. And that was like a default setting. Well, of course, it starts to flood our bodies with cortisol and stress hormones. So we need to address that. And we're all very quick to forget that we have so much to be grateful for. So the 3 and 3 for me is, again, without patronization and encouragement to say, make it a non-negotiable part of your day. You'll be amazed at the multitude of things you can find to be grateful for from the previous day. A laugh shared with a colleague or a friend, a moment of intimacy with your partner, a moment of presence with your child, a physical activity, being out in nature, enjoying a summer's evening, sat out in your back garden, reading a book, going to the gym. It can be anything, but we actually hardwire ourselves into do it. Now, people challenge me. I don't have time in the morning. You'll have heard me say this before, potentially. The best place to log this is in your journal. Actually write those things down. If you are going to continue to say, no, I don't even have time for that, then I always caveat by saying you can do the 3 and 3 while you brush your teeth. I sincerely hope everyone still does that. You can stand in front of the mirror, toothpaste on, start the brushing process. 3 things I'm grateful for and 3 things I'm looking forward to. Simple, takes a matter of minutes, something that the vast majority of people do not do, and I would encourage you to do in your morning routine. And for those of you that heard me mention it before, $1 million question: to know and not to do is not to know. So have you done it? Have you implemented it? If not, well, I'm pleased I'm reminding you, please go ahead and try and implement that for a period of a week or so. And I guarantee it will become something that you really look forward to and don't slide away from as a habit again in the future. The next tip would be to move your body. Now, as soon as I say that, some of you will recoil, oh, yeah, I've got a Peloton in the garage gathering dust. I've got a gym membership that I never use. I know what I should do. Go out, run a 5K, come home, do a full body circuit, Joe Wick style. No, start small. Most of us have a gap between where we want to be and where we are, and it seems insurmountable, so we do nothing to close the gap. We sit there beating ourselves up, frustrated that 1 month becomes 2, becomes 3, becomes a year, becomes 2 years, where we're just not doing anything for our health. So start small. I have ebbed and flowed in my life depending on work and family commitments and pressures about how dialed in I am to my physical health and well-being. And only earlier this year, I found myself drifting away. We have a dog now, much to my children's delight. Any dog owner out there will know the pre-contract agreement. Yeah, we'll all walk it. It'll be a family pet. Becomes one member of the household's job to walk it. And yes, you guessed it, it's my role. So yes, I'm still getting an element of exercise, but it doesn't feel as impactful as going for a morning jog. And it just got a bit too difficult to do everything. So for me, the simple thing was I'm going to commit to doing some press-ups and planks every morning. And just start small. It was a number of repetitions, a front plank, a side plank, a side plank. Some people with massively impressive morning workout routines would scoff at that and say, well, that's nothing. But for me, it was about the discipline of committing to, before I jump in the shower, press ups and plank, I've done something. I've walked the dog, done my press-ups, done my plank, and lo and behold, the number of press-ups, the number of sets, the duration of the planks have all increased, and now I'm actually quite proud of what that entails. But it started very small. So you can do some simple bodyweight squats while the kettle's boiling. You can do some press-ups off the edge of your bench. You can do some full press-ups if you're able to do them. You can do a plank. Whatever it may be, just move the body to help wake yourself up. So you're not relying purely on the strength of your first cup of coffee. You're actually starting to move your body as part of your first commitment to you, as opposed to reacting to everybody else. The next tip I'd share is your phone has to wait for you. The phone is not in charge. You can give yourself permission to take just 15 minutes. Start small, just like we're talking about the physical exercise. If I said to you, don't look at your phone till you arrive at work, that's deluded. You've got to check in. I appreciate that. There could be serious fires, serious issues that you need to be aware of. But, and it's a big but, Nobody said it has to be the very first thing you do when you're still semi-conscious, wandering through to the bathroom, as I used to do. There can be a degree of separation. You will not be judged. There is nothing in your employment contract that says if you're waking up at 6 or 6:30 or 7, that the first 15 minutes you have to be in your inbox. Nobody says that, but we seem to believe that that's the case. So challenge yourself. Give yourself a time. For me, it started with just 15 minutes. I will get up, I will go down, I will make a coffee, I will do the planks, I will do the press-ups, I'll hit the shower, I'll do all of that before I check my phone. And I've built that out. I've got up earlier to give myself an hour now before I get to my phone. But I didn't start there. As I said at the start of this episode, I don't want you overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. Eventually, I want you to have some sequential things you can build in and make it a really comprehensive morning routine. But start small. 15 minutes. I'm going to last 15 minutes without checking my phone. Whatever you do in those 15 minutes, and then you'll push it out and you'll push it out. Maybe you can get up to half an hour. Now, if you're getting up at 7 and you've got to be out the door at 7:30, it gets more and more challenging. So this is where the devil's in the detail. Obviously, we need to go to bed early enough to get up, to give ourselves time to insert some new tasks. That doesn't mean you have to be up at 4 a.m., but if you normally get up at 7, perhaps you start getting up at 6:30. And that little window is where you start to build your routine out. The 15 minutes without the phone, some simple movement, your first cup of coffee or cup of tea, gathering your own thoughts, rather than boom, straight into my phone, straight into the scramble, piece of toast on the hoof, coffee to go, and out the door. There are a million things I could suggest to build into your morning routine. If I could share just one more, read something. 10 minutes, 10 pages, 15 pages. Just invest in you. So many times I work with people, I love to read, but I never get time, or I've never been a reader. It's such a symbolic gesture that you are investing in your own well-being. So it might be fiction, it might just be a piece of escapism that you just sit and have that tranquility of a few sips of your first coffee or tea in the morning and 10 minutes of reading. Some people I work with like to enjoy, review and study their Bible in that moment. And some people like to be reading more sort of growth and development, things that help them develop as a leader, as an individual. But that symbolism of, oh, that was nice, actually sitting with a drink in the quiet before anyone else in the house is up and reading is something that I think you will really cherish. I certainly do. So my routine now has expanded so that, yes, I get up. Yes, I do that little bit of movement. I have a shower. I like to then sit down with my cup of coffee and I'll read for a good half hour or so. Then I'll do a little bit of visualization. I'll take the dog out and I will come back and do the 3 and 3 exercise. So how you slice and dice this and how you build it is very much down to you. But look at building some element of reading in. It doesn't have to be half an hour. As I keep saying, start small. You might say, I'm going to give myself 20 minutes, not look at my phone, do a set of press-ups, do a set of planks, do a set of squats, sit and read for 10 minutes, enjoy my first cup of coffee, and that's it. But that would be so much more proactive than you are currently doing. So if I can leave you with a little mini challenge, just audit how your morning looks. Give yourself a mark out of 10. Look at how proactive it is. And perhaps 10, super proactive, I invested in me. 0, massively reactive, I was frazzled and ran all over the place. Just do that for a few days and then start to build in some of the things we've talked about and give yourself a score. How did that feel? How did having a more proactive score in the morning make you feel? And how did the day unwind as a consequence? I can pretty much guarantee if you run out the door stressed, feeling behind already, full of cortisol and stress hormones based on what you've seen in your emails, you've snapped or been abrupt with your partner or your children, you've tripped over the dog on the way out, you've not eaten properly, and you're trying to get in the car, beat the traffic or get to the train, when you arrive at work, there is no chance you are going to be optimizing your performance. And I'm not insulting your intelligence by suggesting the reverse. When you actually have a moment of tranquility, you've moved your body, you've invested in you, you've perhaps read, you've had your first cup of tea or coffee in a slightly calmer, more sedate pace, you've eaten something significant rather than eating on the go. You walk out the door, you say goodbye to your partner or your loved ones or your pets or whoever it may be, and you step calmly into the commute. Guess what? You are going to perform differently at work. That is why I am such a passionate advocate of the morning routine. It doesn't require any more finance. There's no cost to it. It doesn't require investing in complicated learning or examinations. All of it is in your wheelhouse. You can control it and you can significantly improve your performance, your resilience, and your professional and personal fulfillment as a consequence. And when I frame it like that, I sincerely hope you think, this is a no-brainer. I've not told you anything today you don't already know. I'm just advocating, start today, start small, make some changes, feel the benefit, and build it out. It's a leadership tool, it's a fulfillment tool, and you deserve it. If you don't do it for you, nobody else will. You deserve it. Take control of that morning and reap the benefits as a consequence. I wish you the best of luck, and do let me know how you get on developing your morning routine. Now, if this has piqued your interest, please, before you go, let me just quickly tell you about the Lonely Leader Academy. If you've not come across it, type into your browser tll.academy. It's our virtual leadership development platform. We launched it recently. The feedback has been fabulous, truly humbling. It's designed to meet you wherever you are on your leadership journey. You can go at a pace that suits you, at a place and time that suits you. And currently we have a founding member offer that is just £9 per month. And what's more, that price is frozen for life. The price will be going up soon, but not for you if you are a founding member. Whatever happens to the price in the future, you pay no more than £9 per month. There's no contract. You can cancel any time if you don't feel that you're getting £9 of value every month. And the idea of the platform is we can go so much deeper into the topics we touch on in the podcast. There are a variety of modules and lessons, but all of them are underpinned with deep reflective questions designed to draw the best version of you out, to give you the time and space to answer the questions that are going to make a substantive difference in your professional and personal performance, give you a high level of resilience, and ultimately higher levels of fulfillment. Life is not a dress rehearsal, and I want to do everything in my power to support your continued growth and development. So if you haven't checked it out, please go and do so and take advantage of the founding member offer. As long as you get more than £9 of value in your first month, you haven't lost anything. And if you don't believe you've got £9 of value, well, you're free to cancel at any point. Thanks for listening to the Lonely Leader podcast. I'd be very grateful if you could share and follow if the content resonates. And if you're looking for additional free resource to support your continued growth and development, then please do check out our social media and website details in the show notes. Remember, quality leadership on the outside must always start within.